Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Tel Ganesan, our moderator for the morning.
So I think you said you keep coming, right, Governor?
Yeah.
I think if I check, it is the 4th time you've been here.
Probably as governor. I remember there was a classic time. It wasn't a big conference like this, but I did a meeting with your group in Southfield when I was running for office. And I can tell you, it was a Friday night.
Yes.
You had some of the best food in the entire state of Michigan in the back. And it was a Friday night, and I was out on the campaign trail, and we did Q&A for 2 hours.
That's right. Probably the longest Q&A probably you must have done.
Well, I didn't even realize we were on a roll so much. We just kept on going and blazing away, and finally it's like, whoops, we better close this up.
Right.
It's 2 hours of Q&A is a long time, but it was great. So I appreciated that.
Yeah, so the question for you is, why do you love Thai?
Well, it's the spirit and wonderful people. I mean, just good people to begin with. But the whole concept of entrepreneurship and innovation and helping one another, the networking.
Sure.
Again, it's creating those relationships. And so I view it as a lot of great relationships of people that want to go stretch the boundaries of conventional thinking.
Yes. So as an entrepreneur, as a president and CEO of Gateway in the past, and as a VC, and as a governor, nobody understands the investment climate than you. So where do we stand today in Michigan in terms of investment?
Yeah, the investment climate in Michigan is very good. Again, we're strong and stable as a state.
Okay.
Again, one of the things I'm really proud of, and this is the CPA in me coming out of, is we're financially responsible. And that's not a true statement of a lot of government, to be open with you. In terms of looking at long-term liabilities, of paying the debts that you owe, we've really reformed things. We actually get our budget done 3 months ahead of schedule. And we've done it for 6 years in a row. We've paid down our liabilities. Our liabilities are a third less than what they were 5 years ago. And we have money in our rainy day fund. So we've really created a stable environment because I want people to feel confident. From a business person's perspective, one of the key things you're always looking for from government or from kind of infrastructure kind of issues is knowing consistency, to know what you're dealing with.
Sure.
Uncertainty is one of the greatest risks. So we want to be really solid to say this is a great place that you can have confidence you can be for the next few decades.
I know you've been calling yourself as a nerd governor. When did you realize that you are a nerd?
Oh, I've been a nerd my whole life, and I'm a proud nerd. And it's funny, it goes back to, I love to learn about everything.
Okay.
And I did that since I was a young kid. I mean, I had collections. You can think about all the traditional collections you could when you were a kid. I was collecting everything because I like to learn about everything. And a couple funny stories is my sister actually is quite a bit older, and they used to have to buy their school books quite often back in the 50s. So she still had her old school books. And so I remember I read everything in sight. So when I actually got in 5th grade or so, I actually had to read a book for school that I read back when I was like 4 or 5.
Wow.
That she had one of her old class books. So that's a nerd, folks.
Truly is.
But the title, the nerd thing really came from how I went to college.
Okay.
Because I got my bachelor's when I was 19, my MBA when I was 20, and my law degree when I was 23.
Wow.
So that really, when they hear that, it's like, God, this guy's a nerd.
So obviously you have a very modest beginning, with your background. I think, last time I remember about living in a 1,000 square feet. So from such a humble beginning, how did you go on to become a president and CEO of Gateway? Obviously VC, now the governor.
Yeah.
Walk us through some of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, what I tell people, and I was very fortunate. I grew up in a 900 square foot house or so, and the numbered streets of Battle Creek. But the key is really my folks, my parents, and what I describe as mentorship. In many respects, if you're fortunate enough to have people that can be great mentors, and I put my parents at the top of that list, you can do incredible things because you've got people that are going to be that supportive person to help you in your life. And so one of the things I've always focused in, I've tried to mentor people.
Sure.
And it's one of those things, if you have a chance and you don't have mentors, you should go find people. Because there are people that can be good role models, you can learn from, you can have that dialogue. And as I've mentored people, I tell them one rule. If they want to have some regular relationship, I said, I only have one requirement if you want me to be a mentor to you, to help you. And I said, you have to pass it on. I said, I never expect anything back, but I ask that you will go mentor somebody else. and it's that sharing. If you looked at my first career going into accounting, I was very fortunate. There was a partner there that was one of the best, smartest guys, a guy named Jerry Wolf. And he was the best client service person I ever met. I mean, he knew how to take care of his clients in a very positive, constructive way. And that really stuck with me about the importance not of just doing good tax work or accounting work, but really building people relationships to understand how you serve people. If people are hiring you to do something, how you deliver great products and services to them.
So the other question, Governor, is about attracting people to Michigan. As you know, like you rightfully said, we need some crazy people, but also we need some cool people and make our place cool.
Yeah.
Because as you know, in this mobility, a lot of things are happening in the Silicon Valley, whether it is technology or mobility. But the coolness that is there seems to be not here in our city, in our state. What can you, as a governor, do to make our place cool?
Yeah, well, it is. Again, that's where I go back to Detroit's comeback.
Okay.
Detroit is a place that's viewed as cool. It's one of the, and up and coming. People want to be in a place like that where it's got that, vibrancy, that grittiness that's coming back. Occasionally, relentless positive action guy, but occasionally I've made the statement, do you want to be another yuppie in Chicago or do you want to make a difference in Detroit? Because we want the people that just don't want to blend in and be part of a bigger crowd. We want people that want to come in and make their mark in a positive way in a community. Sure. And if you look at it, Detroit's that place. If you look at it, Grand Rapids. I don't know if many of you have been in Grand Rapids in some time, but Grand Rapids is just booming. Sure. It's really exciting. They have Art Prize there. Art Prize is the best illustration of great culture and economic development combined into one of any place in the country. So it's exciting to see. Obviously, we've got other great places, Ann Arbor. So there's a lot of great communities here that have that attitude and are doing that. Our biggest issue typically in Michigan is again, we're not good at marketing. There's a humility to Midwesterners, and we need to be louder and prouder about our state.
Okay.
So we need, actually, I ask all of you to be ambassadors for Michigan. And when people bring up the topic or talk about it, just make sure they know the facts of the cool stuff going on here, and people want to be part of that.
Sure. Last question for the day, Governor. So how can an organization like TIE can work with MEDC, your office, to really move Michigan forward as we continue to be the leader of mobility?
Yeah, well,
some specific actions.
Sure. Again, I would give you an illustration of a couple of those programs I talked about. Look at this room of entrepreneurs. I love your tagline, Ignite to Disrupt. It's great. But these are the kind of things to help get more involved with FIRST Robotics, FIRST. Or this whole idea of we're going to do much more in computer science in terms of coding and different development opportunities for these young people. They need mentors. And they need people to say, if you do this, this is the kind of thing you can end up becoming.
Sure.
Because people want to see some realistic, tangible illustration of what that, if you work hard, what that success can look like. And you're those successful entrepreneurs. And you'd be great role models for these folk, these young people. And wouldn't that make you feel great and good?
Yes.
That one, you're finding people you may want to hire at some point, but other people that are going to develop businesses that you can do business with, or just helping people, help the broader community. And you're a very generous group that gives back in so many ways. So I think that would be a perfect tie.
Thank you so much, Governor.
Great, thank you.
Let's give a tie applause to Governor Snyder.
Thank you.
Thank you.